Welcome to Brianne's virtual cooking class. We are going to be making miso soup and Asian lettuce wraps and chocolate cupcakes. My aim is to get it all done in under 20 minutes. So I'm going to whip through everything and explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it, but I would love for you to share with me where you're tuning in from and what your favorite Epicure product is, and how do you know your host? So how do you know your host who invited you here today? I hope you've had a chance to go back and check all the different posts that we've done. Make sure that you're liking and commenting, because I'm going to be doing some prize draws tomorrow, and I want to make sure you all get the opportunity to get in for prizes. So make sure you're following along and collecting ballots through participating on those posts. So let's see, we're going to use the Asian meal kit today. So our meal kits are fantastic. They come with a meal plan, grocery list, 5 different meals. When you compare them to other meal plans on the market, you're looking at paying a fraction of the cost, healthier ingredients, proper portions, and a whole lot less waste. All of our meals are in and around, like, most of them are less than $3 a meal, which is really inexpensive to be able to feed your family, and it's all going to be really fresh, good food ingredients. So I'm going to start with the dessert because it's super fast, super easy. So we have these brand new cupcakes, these chocolatey temptation cupcakes, and we can make them in 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes, under 5 minutes total prep time. They are with the recipe, so you just add the ingredients on the back, which is super simple. So I just have some coconut milk, some apple cider vinegar, and some avocado oil in here. That's it, super simple. I'm gonna mix that all together with the contents of this package. It is gluten-free because all of Epicure is gluten-free. It is nut-free, it is vegan, it kind of covers all those bases. If you're looking for certain food requirements, Epicure is awesome for making sure that we have something for everyone. So I'm going to just cut this package right open and start whipping that together. And then I'm going to show you how I do that. So just dump the contents of the pouch into the bowl. And then I've got all the other things measured out, really simple. Toss it in there. And then I'm just gonna whisk it together, and then I'm gonna pop it into our silicone muffin pan. So we have this silicone muffin pan, which goes in the oven. It is oven safe, it is dishwasher safe, it is microwave safe, so it can be used in many different ways. This morning I made some eggs in there, so 2.5 minutes. I just cracked an egg, put a little bit of our CCB in all of the different pockets in here, popped it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes, and we had egg muffins for breakfast with English muffins, so it was super awesome. So I'm just gonna finish whisking this up. I'm gonna put them in here. Each package of the chocolate pudding actually makes a dozen cupcakes. So this silicone mold here that it has enough for 6 muffins in there, or cupcakes. It actually comes with it's a 2-pack when you buy it. So you get enough to make a dozen at a time. So I'm just gonna fill up half of it while I've got you. So just whisk together. It just looks like cake batter. So just like any other recipe. But one of the things that keeps this separate from typical gluten-free baking is it kind of dense and dry. This is not. It stays super moist. It is so delicious. The texture is amazing. It doesn't fall apart. And I'm gonna put some of I turned our caramel sauce into icing, and that's what I'm gonna use to top it with some Cocoa Crunch. It's super delicious. So when you make our caramel sauce, and then you just whip it up, so you just follow the instructions on the back of the package, and when you whip it up, it makes this amazing frosting. Just gonna fill these up halfway with my spatula. If you don't have good kitchen tools, these silicone utensils are amazing. You will not regret getting them. They have a solid steel core, so they're super, super strong. All right, so I've got enough filled in there. I'm gonna pop that in the microwave for 2.5 minutes. That's how long it takes to run out cupcakes. Okay, so next I'm gonna make the miso soup. So I've got our multi-purpose pot here, which is really awesome because it's got a pour spout, it's got measurements. This is our smaller one, so I'm just making a smaller batch of it. I just have 3 cups of water in there. So 3 cups of water, I'm gonna get the stove turned on. I'm gonna be cutting up some tofu. I've got green onions to put in there. I've got some noodles and I've got some suchoy. So I've got some savoy cabbage to put in there as well. And it's so delicious and it's so easy to make. It's one of my favorites for sure. So I'm just heating up the water. I'm gonna put our miso broth in there. So our miso broth comes in the Asian meal kit. It's also part of our enhanced nutrition line. So anytime you see this little silver E that you may be able to see, I'm not sure, it's kind of far, but anytime you see that silver E in there, you know it's part of our enhanced nutrition line, which means there's also functional ingredients in there that provide you with like a nutrition boost. So for instance, when you make just 1 cup of soup with our soup broth, you're looking at taking in an additional boost of B vitamins. So I know with some of our mixes, you'll get, even just with 1 cup, you will get a boost of like 90% of your daily requirement of B12. You will get all your other accompanying B vitamins. You will also get a dose of zinc. So it's a nutritional boost also. It helps to regulate your blood sugars. It helps you to feel more full. So our soup broths are definitely the #1 on the market because they have that added nutritional value, but they're also super low in sodium. So store-bought broths, I think the least high in sodium that I've been able to find is like 800 milligrams of sodium per cup. Epicures are all less than 100 milligrams of sodium per cup and don't have any added MSG or any of the additives at all. And so much, much healthier for you, and the only one on the market with that nutritional boost. So I'm just gonna throw 3 tablespoons of broth in with my water. And that is a little bit extra because I get to customize it the way I like it, and I like it with extra. That is a personal choice of mine. So our cupcakes are already done. I've barely done anything with the soup broth, and our cupcakes are done. Pretty crazy, right? So I just whisk that up, the broth up, so that I don't have chunks of broth in there. And once that's all whisked up, I'm gonna bring it to a boil. Once it's brought to a boil, I'm gonna throw in my extra veggies and my noodles. It takes about 2 minutes to cook up and then it's done. So it's super, super fast. So I'm going to cut up my tofu here to add. I'm just draining it first. So with my tofu, you always want to get organic, non-GMO soy when you're buying tofu, or anything soy for that matter, because it will be much healthier for you. So I always do this over the garbage, over the sink, because it always has like extra liquid that it drains out of it. So I'm just going to cut the tofu into cubes to add to the broth. And then we'll be able to add it right to the soup. And that is really how easy the soup is. It's really that easy to make. And then we're gonna whip up some Asian lettuce wraps, which is super easy too. I'm just gonna toss this right in there so it gets that little bit of extra cook time. I'm using our ceramic chef knife. So I love Epicure ceramic chef knife. I have a couple of them in my kitchen. I use them every day. They are my absolute go-to knife. They are so super sharp. And also when I'm cutting things like apples or lettuce or anything that typically goes brown super fast, that's when I reach for my ceramic knife, because with the ceramic knife, your fruits or vegetables will not go brown as quickly. So those steel knives really speed up the oxidization process of the fruits and vegetables, which is why they go brown so quickly. Okay. So I'm just gonna let that bring to a boil, and we're gonna move on to our lettuce wrap. But I'm gonna give you a peek of the cupcakes first, and I'll let that come out and cool. So our cupcakes are done. They look marvelous and beautiful. And I'm just gonna toss them there for a minute. And then I've got some ground pork in here. You could use ground chicken, you could use ground beef, you could use whatever you want. I just decided I was gonna try ground pork. So I've got some ground pork in here. I've got quite a bit because I have a large family, so super easy to double recipes if you do have a big family. I have a family of 6, so I always double recipes so that I have enough to feed my whole family. So in here, I'm going to have our Asian stir fry and a little bit of my soy sauce. So I use this all-purpose liquid soy seasoning by the brand Bragg. It is my favorite soy sauce. It has the best flavor, but also it is nutritionally approved by me because the only ingredients in there, now I dare you to take a look at what you might have in your fridge, because I would encourage you to get a different brand of soy sauce. And no, I don't get paid for this, but I really do want everybody I'm on a mission to help people get healthier. So really, I love making recommendations. And if you love asking questions and hearing recommendations and seeing cooking demos like this, I encourage you to jump onto my Jen's Epic Life group, because I share lots all the time on there. So the only ingredients on here is soybean vegetable protein and purified water. None of the caramel color, none of the extra salt, none of the extras, because there's always extras. So I'm just going to put a few tablespoons of this in here. And then I'm going to put the soy sauce, or the Asian stir fry, in there. I am using our 4-in-1 spice spoon to measure everything out, because then I don't have to, when I need a certain measuring spoon, I don't have to dig through my cupboard for the exact one I need, because they're all attached. There's a tablespoon, a teaspoon, a half teaspoon, and a quarter teaspoon. And what I love most about this spice spoon is it actually fits right into the jar. So super convenient for digging out your spices, doesn't make a big mess. So I'm gonna just add 2 tablespoons of our Asian stir fry in there. And then I'm going to just pop it in the microwave. I'm gonna take it out about halfway through the cooking. So I'm gonna put it in for 4 minutes. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna break it apart using our meat separator, and then I'm gonna cook it for the finish of the cook, which is about 2 minutes more after that. So 6 whole minutes, we're gonna get this 2 pounds of meat cooked up. And while that's happening, we're gonna get the rest of the pieces of our lettuce wrap. So we're gonna make a coleslaw. I'm going to cut this cabbage in half, because we don't know if I'll use the whole thing. I am going to get my mandolin. Let me grab my mandolin. So we have a 4-in-1 mandolin. Make sure I have the right blade for it. We have a 4-in-1 mandolin, which makes cutting cabbage super easy. I'm going to just poke it onto here. And then I can simply shred up my cabbage, so I'm not buying like the cabbage that's in bags, which is probably just fine. But you know, when you can get fresh cabbage and shred it yourself, it goes a really long way, and it stays fresh in your fridge for a long time. So you can get a lot of meals out of buying 1 cabbage. Alright, almost done with half that cabbage. So that was easy. So I'll show you what that looks like. So that's all shredded up into little tiny pieces. awesome. All done. And then I'm going to also slice up some carrot to go in there. Just for some variety and extra flavor. I've got butter lettuce to do the wrapping part of our lettuce. It's my favorite. You can really fold it nicely. And I love that it's grown here in Alberta. I have to say, this is my favorite mandolin I've ever owned. It's super sharp, super easy to use, and it does have these plates that change out. So you can change these plates out. I've got 4 different kinds of plates to put in there so I can get different types of cuts. And it's also just like small. It's not like this big machine I have to get out and put together and take apart to clean. It's super easy. It sits flat in my drawer. I pull it out when I need it, and that's it. Super easy to clean as well. I love the guard on it. The guard is awesome when I get too close. That guard on. We're coming to the end of the carrot. That is the end of the carrot. So I'm going to toss that up. I'm going to make the sesame ginger dressing to put on the cabbage. And we're going to make some chipotle aiolis. We're actually using every product from this collection. So I'm going to use the salad dressing cruet to mix up my dressing because there's going to be leftovers. And I can store this in my fridge later and it stays good. Also, there's measurements on the jar which make it super easy for me not to have to pull out extra measuring cups and stuff to use. So I'm following the recipe right on the back of the jar. There's actually 3 different recipes on the back of the jar, so it's super cool. It is sodium free, this one here. So no sodium. That's different for Asian cooking, I believe. And I'm just going to need a tablespoon of this. I'm going to half the recipe because again, you make as much as you need. Did you know that our salad dressing bottles make like 6 to 7 cups of dressing? It's a lot of dressing, so you actually are saving quite a bit of money because you're not buying all these bottles for $5. And then of course it's much healthier for you. I'm going to take a look at that meat and chop that up before I get mixing that. So use our meat separator to break up all the meat and then finish cooking it. So that's all broken up now. And I'll toss that in for a couple more minutes. And then we're almost done here. Okay, dressing. We're gonna make that real quick. So I just need some rice vinegar. So I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. I'm gonna estimate about 1/2 of a cup of oil, and then I'm gonna put a tablespoon and a half of the soy sauce in there, and then a tablespoon of the dressing mix. So I am going to use the measurements right on the jar to measure it out. Oil. Some soy sauce. A tablespoon of dressing mix. Shake it up. It's all ready to go. The chipotle aioli here is just mayo, so any kind of mayo that you prefer can be used. And then I'm gonna add the chipotle aioli. I'm gonna just put a teaspoon in there. Give that a stir. You can make it as spicy as you like. Really great for sweet potato fries. I even like it just on top of steamed broccoli. I like to put a little bit of it on top of steamed broccoli. Okay. We are going to chop this up to put it in our soup here. Some noodles in there. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. Lid on it. Just going to let that steam up. Our meat is almost done. I'm going to stir in our dressing to our coleslaw mix. And then that's going to be it. That's all. But that is all. So then I'm going to use this lettuce. I will show you a picture of it all put together, but I'm going to use this butter lettuce. I'm going to put my meat inside. We should have that done now. It's all done, ready to go, just like that. Give it another chop up, and we are ready to serve dinner. So we made dessert, a soup, and so we kind of made two meals because we made the soup and the lettuce wraps. And that's it. So I'm going to post right away here a link for you guys to check out. There's going to be slides of all the products that we currently have available. There's a link to be able to place your order. So go through the slides, pick out what you want, and then go ahead and click the link to place your order. If you need help, by all means, contact me and I will be more than happy to place your order for you. If you do have questions, you can also reach out. I would love to help you find some products that work well for you. If you're thinking you want so much of the products and you don't want to pay full price, that's when you want to host your own class so that we can show you another meal and you will be able to take advantage of those free host products. So thanks again for watching, and I will show you what this all looks like now that it's all come together. And our soup will be done any minute, and I don't want to keep you any longer. So stay tuned for the finishing touches with the pictures. Have a good night. Bye.